Today we are doing specimen paper for 2018 Combined Science paper 1. Our syllabus code 4003. Remember, the paper is only 1 hour, so you need to be fast and accurate so that you answer all the questions correctly but in a timely manner. So let's start. Which instrument is most suitable for observing specialized cells? Obviously, for viewing cells, we need a microscope. A telescope is for viewing stars and distant objects. The diagram shows a specialized cell. You can see from the specialized cell, there's a nucleus, there's a vacuole, but there's an extension of the cell. Automatically, this cell is a root hair cell. Its specialization is this extension. This is an extension or extension of surface area to absorb water. Question 3. Which adaptation of a leaf does not increase, the keyword is not, increase the rate of photosynthesis? A species means that there's going to be a lot of gaseous exchange, including water vapor, so this increases. A thick cuticle means that it's going to prevent water loss by evapotranspiration. Numerous stomata are going to increase the rate of photosynthesis. A large surface area is also going, so the only one which is not going to increase is thick cuticle. The next one, which atmospheric condition reduces the rate of water uptake in plants? Okay, so our rate of water uptake, this is due to evapotranspiration. So a high humidity means that the water will be there will be a lot of water in the air, so not deal. A high temperature increases the rate of water uptake. A high light intensity also increases water uptake because there will be a lot of photosynthesis taking place. And a high wind speed increases the rate of water uptake or water loss, because the wind will be pushing the water away from the surface of the leaf. So the only one that is not true is A. It reduces the rate of water uptake. A wind pollinated flower, this one is not meant for attraction or of insects, so it doesn't have large petals, but it has long filaments so that the pollen grains can be dispersed for a long distance. And also it does not produce nectar, but it does have numerous pollen grains so that they can be dispersed. A lot of them can be dispersed. Question 6. Ebola is caused by a virus. This one is automatic. Excessive consumption of alcohol leads to liver cirrhosis. All right, this is when the liver is badly destroyed by excessive consumption of alcohol, chronic alcoholism. Emphysema is caused by problems with smoking, hallucinations by taking drugs like LSD or weed, lung cancer by smoking as well. Question 8. Which deficiency disease is caused by lack of vitamin C? Vitamin C causes scurvy. Goiter is caused by lack of iodine. Anemia is caused by lack of iron. And rickets are caused by lack of calcium and vitamin D. A student carried out a test on a food substance using the burette solution, and a purple color was observed. So it means that this test was positive. The burette test tests for the presence of proteins. Fats are tested by the emulsion test, and the result is a cloudy white. So this one is not it. The vitamins are tested by a chemical, for example, vitamin C, DCPIP, which decolorizes. And carbohydrates, we have two main types of tests. For complex ones like starch, we use iodine test, which turns blue-black. And for the other one, like simple or reducing sugars, we use the Benedict test, called the Benedict test, and it turns brick red. Okay, so the answer there is proteins. Which is a function of the white blood cells? This one obviously is of defense because they protect our bodies from invading pathogens. Which contraceptive method prevents ovulation? Automatically is the pill. Spermicides only destroy sperms, they don't infect, they don't change anything. Sterilization only cuts the tubes which bring the eggs, but not the release of the egg themselves. And the IUD only prevents implantation, so it is the pill. Question 12. Which event will result in a child acquiring active immunity? So this one means that the child is going to produce their own antibodies. The only correct one is when a child is injected with a vaccine. Breastfeeding will provide passive. Injecting with artificial hormones will do nothing to the immunity. And keeping the child away from sick people does not help the immunity. What happens to most of the energy as it flows through an ecosystem? So this energy is lost as heat, all right? Because when energy is being passed from one organism to another, not all of it is going to be useful in the next organism. So much of it is just lost as heat. Question 14. The physical property used in fractional distillation is the difference in we're going to have fractional distillation due to difference in boiling points of the liquids. So you have two liquids which can mix, but they've got different boiling points. For example, ethanol and water. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, while ethanol boils at 78 degrees Celsius. Although they are miscible, they are also separable. Chlorine 35 and chlorine 37, you can see that these numbers here, which are the proton numbers, are the same, but the top numbers are different, which are the atomic numbers. This means this one has 18 neutrons, this one has 20 neutrons. So these ones are isotopes, all right? Isomers, these ones are not isomers or monomers or polymers, but they are isotopes. The next question, the diagram shows the outermost shell of element Z. It has 2, 4, and 5 and 6 electrons in its outermost shell. So electrons with an outermost shell of 6 are nonmetals. This is a nonmetal, and it is in group 6. So it means that instead of losing 6 electrons or donating, it will gain 2 electrons. So if it gains 2 electrons, its overall charge will increase by 2 electrons. So it will have a charge of Z2-, which is D. All right. Question 17. Sulfuric acid and calcium hydroxide react as shown by the equation. This equation, sulfuric acid plus calcium hydroxide to form calcium sulfate and water. You can see that sulfuric acid is reacting with a 1:2 ratio. 1 mole of sulfuric acid gives 2 moles of water. So if we have 0.1 moles of sulfuric acid, the moles of water is going to be 0.1 times 2, which is equals to 0.2. This is our answer here. Moving on, question 18. An organic compound contains 84% carbon and 16% hydrogen by mass. What is the empirical formula of the organic compound? So to calculate empirical formula, we are going to do this CS to H by percentage. We have 84% here and we have 16%. In 100 grams sample, we have 84 grams and this one having 16 grams. All right. So to calculate the number of moles, N is equals to M over MR. So this one will be, the mass here is 84 over the MR is 12, which is equals to 12 divided by 84, that's 7. Then for hydrogen, 16 divided by 1, which is equals to 16. So we have 7 moles of carbon and 16 moles of hydrogen. So now to find the simplest combination ratio, we can use this one, C7H16, or divide by 7 for both sides. We divide by 7, we divide by 7 here. Here we'll get 1, and here we'll get 16 divided by 7, we have 2, remained 2 over 7. So this one is, since we can round it down, so the element can have C bonding with H2. So this is this one, okay? Which substance in exhaust fumes causes global warming? Soot is not going to cause global warming, it's just going to stick on the roofs. Or then carbon dioxide is the one which is going to cause global warming, thereby preventing sunlight from escaping or heat energy from the sun from escaping. Water vapor cannot cause global warming. Carbon monoxide can only choke us. What is the use of limestone in the blast furnace? So the use of limestone is to produce slag, because limestone is going to react with silica to produce slag. Next question, question 21. Which diagram A, B, C, or D shows the structure of ethane? Ethane is in a group of hydrocarbons called alkanes, okay? So alkanes have got a general structure of CnH2n plus 2, all right? So it means if we have C1, then the number of H is C2 times 1 plus 2, which is CH4. But ethane now is C2. So for every N, we're going to replace with 2, so it will be CH2 times 2 plus 2, which is equals to C2H4 here plus 2, 6. So we want C2H1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the structure of ethane. Next question. The list shows part of the reactivity series of metals: calcium, magnesium, zinc, copper. What is the position of a metal that reacts vigorously with cold water? So we have our reactivity series. You remember it: Posolica Mazilk, if you know this one. So the reactivity of a metal which reacts vigorously with cold water is obviously sodium or potassium, and that one is above calcium. You can see in this reaction here between sodium and water, it's reacting violently. Magnesium does not react with cold water, it reacts with steam or hot water. Question 23. Which temperature is used in the Haber process? This one is 450 degrees. The equation shows the reaction between iron oxide and carbon monoxide. Iron oxide plus carbon monoxide to form iron plus carbon dioxide. What is the oxidizing agent? So we know that the oxidizing agent is the one which is reduced during the reaction. Okay, is reduced during reaction. So for reduction to take place, either there is gain of hydrogen or loss of oxygen. You can see here that we have iron oxide. So this is iron oxide, but in the product, it has lost the oxygen. So the iron oxide has been reduced. Carbon monoxide had one oxygen, it will be CO, but now it has gained another oxygen, so it has been oxidized. Question 25. The flow diagram shows the manufacture of sulfuric acid, sulfur dioxide plus oxygen to form sulfur trioxide, and then X is added to form oleum. The X which is added is concentrated sulfuric acid. We do not add water because there will be very dangerous fumes here, which would be lethal, and they would be very insoluble. So we add concentrated sulfuric acid, then we form oleum. The oleum now is the one to which water is added to form sulfuric acid. Question 26. The diagram shows the structure of an organic molecule. You can see that this structure has got carbons and hydrogens, but it has got this functional group OH. This one is a group for alcohols, okay? Alkanes, we already looked at them, and alkenes are different. They have at least one double bond, and aldehydes are different from this one. Question 27. Which instrument would be used to accurately measure the internal diameter? As soon as you see this word internal diameter, you should know that it's a vernier calipers, mainly internal diameter of hollow tubes. The micrometer screw gauge is used to measure the thickness of, let's say, flat surfaces or some components in like engineering where you need to measure its thickness. But the internal diameter of a bottle, you would need to put in a vernier calipers, which has got a different set of teeth. The weight can be calculated by multiplying acceleration due to gravity by the mass, okay? Weight is equals to mass times gravity. So what we need here is the mass. Question 29. The diagram shows a pulley system. We have two pulleys here. This is the load, that is the effort. The velocity ratio of the pulley system is found by counting the number of pulleys. In the system we have 1, 2. So the number of pulleys gives us the velocity ratio. So it's 2 here. Question 29. The diagram shows the 4 strokes of a petrol engine. So if you know your strokes well, the inlet is this one is inlet, because the inlet valve is open and the piston is moving down whilst the outlet is closed. For A here is the compression, because both the inlet and outlet valve are closed and the piston is moving upwards so that it can compress the air. This one is the power stroke, because both the inlet and outlet are closed, the piston is moving downwards and there's a spark. And this one, D, is the outlet, because the inlet is closed, the outlet is open, and the piston is moving out to push out exhaust fumes. Question 31. Which one is the commutator? The commutator is the one with split rings. C, these ones are the carbon brushes. Then B is the commutator. B is the commutator. A is the coil, which is going to conduct the current, and D is part of the current conducting coil. So our answer here is B. 32. Which circuit diagram A, B, C, or D can be used to determine the resistance of a resistor R? So you can see that R there is a resistor. So to determine the resistance, we need to put it across. We need to put the voltmeter across the resistor. So we connect them in parallel like this one on A. And then we put the ammeter to measure the current in series. So the voltmeter and the resistor are put in parallel whilst the ammeter is connected in series. Question 33. We have a pie chart showing X, Y, and Z, which are in a mixture. What is the percentage of Z in the mixture? So you can see here that X and Y are taking up 30 plus 60, which is equals to 90 degrees. 90 degrees over 360, you can reduce it to form 1 over 4. So 1 over 4 is also 25%. So it means that Z is taking the rest, 100 minus 25, which is equals to 75%. So question 33, 75%, that is D. 34. A wind blows with a force of 200 newtons against a wall of height 2 meters and a length 5 meters. What is the pressure exerted by the wind on the wall? So the formula for calculating pressure is equals to force over area. So the force is 200 newtons and the area is 2 length times height there, 2 times 5. And this gives us 200 newtons over 10 square meters. And if you divide 200 by 10, the zeros will cancel out each other and you get 20 newtons per square meter, which is A. Question 35. The diagram shows a manometer used to measure the gas pressure. Acceleration due to gravity is G, density of the liquid is rho, pressure G, atmospheric pressure is capital letter P there, and the height is H. Which of the expression gives the gas pressure? It's given by G is equals to P plus rho GH, okay, which is B. 36. Why does a solar cooker have a shiny surface? The solar cooker has a shiny surface so that it can reflect the heat. All right, it has got a curved surface so that it can concentrate the heat. All right, which media of communication is used to share pictures using cell phones? It is not practical to use cables over long distances because you're using cell phones, so the most probable answer there would be Wi-Fi. The diagram shows the 3-pin plug on question 38. The fuse is always connected to the live, so this one is the live wire, and the earth is the one which is in the middle, so this one is the earth and this one is the neutral. So what is the standard color of wire Y? The color Y is the live, so it's always brown. Earth is green, yellow, neutral, blue. Question 39. What is the energy conversion in a generator? A generator always converts energy from mechanical energy to electrical energy, which is C. Question 40. Electricity costs 10 cents per kilowatt hour. How much does it cost to run a 0.75 kilowatt machine for 20 hours? So to calculate the energy used, we're going to say 0.75 times the number of hours. This is going to give us 0.75 times 10 is going to be 7.5. 7.5 times 2, that's going to be 15 kilowatt hours. So for 15 kilowatt hours and each kilowatt hour costing 10 cents, we're going to multiply by 10 cents. This is going to give us 150 cents. Divided by 100 to find dollars equals to $1.50. So the answer is B. Keep revising. Watch this video now.